to the right, looks like it's getting a good bit of work there, but even the workmen have to socially distance. As you can see them one on each floor. This looks like that we do quite well.
Here we are. Take number 4. Okay, so maybe this will be the one that I am going to keep, because I've tried now 4 different times to get a video. Now I have to stop and say quickly, I have been inspired by a fellow YouTuber. His name Dom Bauer from Edinburgh, Scotland. So, did I say that right? Edinburgh, Scotland. Okay. And he made a video on the 29th of January. That's today, about 11 o'clock his time. And he just did a little drive video, a little travel drive around video in Edinburgh, to just kind of show and kind of chronicle what that city looks like in the midst of a coronavirus lockdown or shutdown. Now, we just had here in California, now technically I'm in Nevada right now, just crossed the state line. Oh my gosh, look at that. Wow, that's Mount Rose. Oh my gosh, look at that. Wow. So anyway, so he was chronicling what the city looks like in Edinburgh there with the lockdown. And here in California, we've had a lockdown for the last several months, a couple months actually, and it was just lifted about a week ago. However, we're still in what's called the purple tier. You know, the color purple tier. And so if you're in the purple tier, you shed lots of tears because it means you really can't go anywhere or do anything. So essentially, it's sort of like you're on the honor system of lockdown. There's no indoor dining, and a lot of the non-essential things are shut down. So you're basically kind of self-restricting yourself from going and doing things and, you know, that type of thing. So the other reason why I'm making this video is because, as you can probably see, we have had a huge winter storm in the last 48 hours. We were kind of looking like we were starting to shed most of the snow that we had gotten around Christmas time. Still had a few patches, but for the most part, there was it wasn't like this 48 hours ago. And so they said that there was a blizzard coming, and sure enough, it looks like we got a really good dumping of snow up here in Lake Tahoe. So, inspired by Dom's video, I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to see if I can get out there and get the old GoPro and see if I can get on the road there and see if I can recapture some of this beautiful video up here in Tahoe. So technically, I was going to show you my little hometown of Tahoe City, but I just drove through there and I found out that I really wasn't. Well, maybe I was able to capture a few things. We'll have to wait and see. I'll have to see what the camera captured. It's on my right there. Now, I just came through here not too long ago, about maybe an hour ago, and I can see that the traffic, the vacationers are here. So I'm going to try to navigate around the vacationers. So this is downtown Tahoe City, and as you can see, we got snowed in quite a bit. There's our Ace Hardware store, my favorite store in Tahoe City. And I guess these people here, this is Highway 28, which I think I said earlier, and it looks like even though people are supposedly supposed to be kind of self-quarantining, they decided that they're going to quarantine up in the mountains. So here we are in downtown beautiful Tahoe City. Lake Tahoe is off to your right, and we'll see more of that in a little bit here. But I thought I'd just take you through downtown Tahoe City. Don't blink because you're probably going to miss it. We have like one stoplight downtown, and I think we've already passed that. So mostly we have in Tahoe City, mostly restaurants, very, very nice restaurants when they're open. We do have some doctors and dentists along here. My dentist is up here. We have, novelty shops. We have some realty shops. So if you're interested in buying property up here in the mountains, in Tahoe City, you could stop off and buy a couple $1 million estate for no problem at all. Got a movie theater, a little movie theater. Let's see, we've got, again, lots of snow shops that sell, snow equipment, snowboards, skis, things of that nature. I'm going to go ahead and keep going. I should have stopped, but I didn't see them in time, and don't like to make abrupt stops. And unfortunately, they were being patient, so I think it's all okay. Also have some grocery stores. We have one that we just passed down the other end of the town, and then we're almost now on the eastern side of the town, and it's a Safeway over here. But now with these huge snow berms, you can't really see. So there you have it. So, and then there's a CVS drugstore, pharmacy, and now we are leaving Tahoe City. I've had nothing but little problems. It keeps running out of scan discs, or what was the other thing? Battery. And now this time it's I forgot to turn it on. That's right, I forgot to turn on the recording. So all those things have a direct impact on your videography there. Now we're going to come back here in just a minute. I'm going to drive up here, probably get up here to this Mount Rose, which is not that far away, and then we'll swing back around and we will come back down, and you'll see a beautiful, beautiful panorama of Lake Tahoe. So that's what I thought I would do, and say, well, old Dom was driving around Edinburgh, and so I thought, why not take my GoPro out and see what I can capture. And this is what we're seeing. Okay, that's 8,000 feet elevation. You know, we're up a little ways. So you're just about in the highlands. So this is Mount Rose. And I guess the reason why I'm kind of curious to get out here with the camera and see what I can see is because just like in Edinburgh, you know, you're going to be
movie music there by Aaron.
You're supposed to be seeing lots of people, tourists, and you don't see anybody. You know, there's a few people, I guess, but for the most part, you just don't see a lot of people. I'm taking a big risk doing my windshield wiper. Oh my gosh, 27 degrees, folks. That probably froze up my windshield wiper. That's probably it for my windshield wiper. After that, the little spouts, their little spigots are probably all frozen now. So that's about as clean as my windshield's gonna get. So we're gonna get up here to Mount Rose. We're almost at the summit. I'll swing the truck around and we'll head on back down to see what Lake Tahoe looks like on this beautiful January day. You know, January 29th, it's about a little after 2 in the afternoon. And it's quite lovely up here. I've been using the medium on the new Hero 9, and I noticed that it gets awfully warm, so I don't like that. Okay, I'm hoping I can just go through. I don't know if that's gonna let me go through or not. Okay, let me see if I can just do a 3-pointer turn here. Got my lights on. Okay, there we go. A little bit of 4-wheel drive action. Okay, that's it. Okay, there we go. Misty Mountains. And I've also got the Hyper Boost 3.0. Yeah, I think it's Hyper Boost or Boost 3.0 for stabilization. So hopefully most of it will be stabilized. I noticed though that there's a little funny, at the very bottom of the video, there's a little bit of funny shake. It's weird. You have to kind of look for it, but it's there. And it's like, whoa, what is that? Everything else is rock steady, but this one little part at the bottom of the video will get a little bit of a shimmer, or a shimmy, I should say. Okay, so I want to make sure I don't run over any people or dogs. But, okay, so this is great. This might even be better than the other videos. The other videos were just a little more boring, I think. Yeah. I mean, all it was is just, I mean, it's beautiful to drive around the snow, but when that's all you're looking at is snow and you're not seeing anything else, it's kind of a little bit, gets a little monotonous, I guess. Hey, there. Okay, look at this guy. I don't know if he's a mountain patrol guy or whatever, mountain rescue. But there are times where it has different casts to it. Some days the lake kind of has a grayish blue, almost kind of a gun metal steel look to it, the way the light hits it. And then there's this one phenomenon that I just don't know what it is. And the best way I can describe it is that you'll see the blue lake, but then there'll be like these lily pads of clear, and it's not ice because it's not wintertime. I noticed it during the fall and the late summer, but it looks like to me like huge contact lenses floating on the blue lake. So if you can image that, that's one of the things that I find really fascinating about the lake. So, but anyway, so yeah, any minute here, any second now almost, we're gonna come up on this beautiful vista of Lake Tahoe. So here we are, and look at all this beautiful snow-covered trees Yeah, they're just absolutely gorgeous. Okay, all right, get ready, folks. This is the beauty shot right here, coming around the mountain. Yep, and there it is. There it is. Unfortunately, it is kind of obscured by the trees, but that's Lake Tahoe there. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Wow. Wow. Okay. A lot of mist on the water too. Wow. So, but as you can see, it's a really lovely place to live. I've been here a little over 2 years now. Well, almost 2 years, I should say. In July, it'll be 2 full years. Secretly, I was coming up here about 3 years ago, kind of scoping the place out, just kind of seeing what it was like, especially in the wintertime. You know, I was wondering, well, could I navigate, you know, and operate, you know, my life and, you know, in a higher elevation, and especially in wintertime. And so it just turned out that I was able to get this assignment up here. I put in for it, and I was able to get this assignment at Corpus Christi Catholic Church. And I'm just really, really, really grateful. Yeah, I guess what I'll do is I'll share with you one other thing, those of you who are watching, and then I'm going to probably bring this video to a close and simply just say that, you know, living up here, yes, it is beautiful, and you have to make sure that in some ways, hey folks, you kind of try to, well, appreciate it for what it is. And sometimes, though, because it is challenging and sometimes a bit difficult to live up here, and all, you know, the thing is that you have to not let some of the times the difficulties bring you down. And it's kind of sad because sometimes, you know, we all get kind of consumed with our day-to-day problems and all the things that we're trying to, you know, negotiate through in our lives, and sometimes we get a little myopic, and all we do is we look at the bad things and we don't see the good things. We don't see the beauty that is surrounding us. And that's one of the things that, you know, as I was driving up here, moving up here, and I was going, wow, I can't believe I'm going to live up here. There was a little voice that said, and don't ever forget how beautiful it is, you know, because again, sometimes you can forget and you don't appreciate what you have. And so that's one of my little philosophical lessons that I think I can share with you all today, is as I make this video on the 29th of January at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 2-ish, you know, 2:30, you know. You know, it's just always nice to recognize the beautiful parts of life that we do all, I think we do all have. Here's another beautiful money shot of the lake. You can kind of see that. It's really pretty, glistening, sparkling. Yep, it's a beautiful, beautiful time to drive, I think, you know. I'm gonna really enjoy looking at the GoPro footage and just see what I've got here. So I'm hoping that this turns out really well. Okay, so I'm heading back down into Tahoe City from Mount Rose, and this has just been a little drive around Lake Tahoe, and hopefully you have been able to accompany me and you've been able to enjoy my little travel vlog. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. We got a really damn good show for you today. Yeah. You betcha. Holy Smoking Pipe Padre here, and I hope you enjoyed the little extended intro. Well, actually, it wasn't an extended intro. It was just a little point of departure. So I thought you'd all enjoy seeing our recent blizzard that we had, the aftermath, which we're still, some might say, enjoying, and some might say still suffering from. But basically, about on January 28th, we had a blizzard here in Northern California, and it kind of went up along the, I think the from Mammoth Lakes all the way up to here to Lake Tahoe. So anyway, it dumped an awful lot of snow in a very short time, and about 3-4 feet. Some places even got maybe 5 and 6 feet. So, and we're supposed to get some more snow this week. We just barely kind of started digging out the last couple of days. So, but it's wintertime still. We're grateful for the precipitation. We certainly need it. So it's nice to see it, but it always comes at a price. Those of you who live in snowy climates know that it can be a blessing and a bane. So on one hand, it's necessary for the ecosystem, and it's quite lovely and beautiful. And I took that's why I took the video I did of the drive around. One of my longtime fellow YouTubers that I've watched for years now, probably going on 5-6 years, Don Bauer in Edinburgh, Scotland, did a little drive around, as I said in my video, kind of explaining why I was doing what I was doing, kind of on the same day, him in Edinburgh, and then me here in the High Sierras here, just kind of driving around and just, looking at it through the optic of, COVID, I guess. That was just kind of like saying, he was looking at what the reality of COVID was like at his place in Edinburgh. And so I thought, well, what does COVID look like up here? Because the reason why I did that was because normally we just are inundated with tourists. Once we get a really good snow, and this was, without a doubt, one of those snows that brings so much powder. The skiers it's like skiers' heaven. When you get, a snowstorm, which you've had a couple, where it drops maybe an inch or two, and you really don't have a very good, you already have kind of like an icy foundation. It's just not really good for skiing. Although people will come up and do sledding with the kiddies, which is fine. Kids can get a little plastic dish and go down a little hill, and all's great, and God's in his heaven, all's right with the world. But for real serious snowboarders and skiers, the snow that we got back in December was kind of meh. It was okay. But this, oh my gosh, talk about a real snow skiers, snowboarders paradise. Wow. So I wanted to go see, if the COVID, which we just got through with the lockdown about maybe a week or so ago, but now we're still in what's called the purple tier, which kind of means you're on the honor system. You're really supposed to be quarantining in place. Okay.
Here's what I found.
No, I didn't ask that. Did that turn off? Hold on a second. No, it's still recording. Okay. All right. So, okay. I like my Apple Watch, and I think it does some really cool things. And one of them is I can monitor videos on my watch. Because sometimes, it's like, okay, did that just stop? Yeah, it looks like it's still going. Okay. And so I don't have to kind of fiddle with the phone and kind of figure out where it's at. So anyway, I digress. So I wanted to see if we were going to have, massive amounts of tourists, or are we going to just have kind of a minimal visitation by people from the valley. And so as I was driving around, there were a couple of times where I kind of felt we were going to see a big boon in tourists, but it didn't really seem to. It hasn't quite seemed to manifest itself, because normally you'll get it'll be inundated. The roads coming into Tahoe City, especially Squaw Valley, good luck trying to get in here and trying to get out. Oh man, it's Sunday afternoon now, so yeah, it's probably a real nightmare going out towards what we call Interstate 80 up north, in Truckee. Trying to get out of here is probably going to be, trying to get up to Truckee would be near impossible right now. The roads are probably going to be clogged. So Friday, when I made that video, is because I thought, okay, Dom made his video in Edinburgh.
Sorry.
Anyway, again, sorry, I digress. But anyway, so I didn't think there was going to be that many people, and then it turned out to be there were some people coming up, and then I went to the market earlier this afternoon, and I didn't see a huge influx of people. Now the checkers, they said that it's been really crowded this weekend. So maybe I just caught it on a one of those off moments where there wasn't that many people in the store. But normally, in last year before COVID, it was not a pleasant experience going to our little market. I mean, because all the vacationers were up here, and I'm sorry I hate to say this, and I'm sure that it's not all vacationers are like this, but the vacationers I literally had people would physically, if I was standing in their way, they would physically put their hands on me and move me to the side. I actually had somebody do that last year. And I got to say, if somebody did that to me this year, because last year I just kind of thought, wow, really? And I kind of just walked away. I didn't encounter. I didn't get into their face. I didn't say, that's extremely rude. But I just let it go because I thought, well, okay, because it was just almost wall-to-wall people, and people were trying to get their things. And I believe in trying to be polite and courteous to people, even if you're in a hurry, even if you're impatient. Try to show a little bit of decorum and respect and civility. Now, the reason why I say if somebody did that to me this year, I think a lot of us are kind of on a thin edge right now. And we're really kind of tired. A lot of us are just kind of tired of some of the things that are going on in our country today. And so anyway, I don't know if I would have had the same kind of restraint. I might say something if I was in a situation where there's just a whole bunch of people in the store and everybody's just kind of doing the shark feeding frenzy kind of a thing. I don't know how I would respond. I might say something which unfortunately in this day and age could quickly escalate, and it could get really, just really unpleasant and really ugly. But hold on just a second. I got to do something here. Yeah. Got a damn good show for you. Okay, little Hodge twins there, homage, This is my Hodge twins cup. They were both former Marines. I'm a former Marine. Hoorah, hoorah. And in this beautiful, kind of almost, what do I say? Apocalyptic kind of a cup. Apocalyptic in that it could probably go through the apocalypse and survive, the end of days and all that stuff. So, essential gear for the apocalypse, yeah. But drinking in it's some of my favorite coffee because even though it's, I usually have a cup of coffee in the afternoon. I already had what I call my 1 o'clock gun at 1 o'clock, and it's already 3 o'clock, a little bit after 3 now. So, but tomorrow will be February 1st. I think it's Candlemas tomorrow. Maybe it's a presentation. I don't know. Got to check the old ordo for the Catholic Mass tomorrow. But we start a new month tomorrow, and Lent is just about a little over 2 weeks away. This is actually good. I'll tell you what I'm smoking here in just a minute. But, well, let me do that first, and then I'll come back to the coffee. I'm smoking some Boswell's Paradise. And I ordered this back in December. And it came just, I think, a couple days before Christmas, the box. In fact, the camera's sitting on the box right now. And I ordered a whole bunch of stuff. And this was one of them. I was curious to see if this would be what I thought it might be. Kind of a very, kind of a, well, again, a tropical mix that I remember from the tinderbox. This isn't really that. But it is kind of like more like a rum, a sweet rum flavor. And it's actually very, very good. Okay, now I'm noticing, these are the Boswell House Tins, I'm sure, obviously, because they're from Boswell. It just says Boswell's. I got to be honest, though. There's some Boswell tobaccos have always, for me, been exceptional. They keep well. You can cellar them probably until the second coming. Their flavors are just, again, one of their claim to fame is no tongue bite. And they taste delicious. Yes, I'm going to employ my delicious. Oh man, they're good. This little tin is really this little tin of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah, it's really good. I'm surprised. Opening it up, however, it's kind of different. It smells like raisins. Yeah, it smells like raisins. It has it. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like the raisiny, plummy, fruity kind of stuff that you get. What does it remind me of? Now I have to remind you, Pipe Pals, I don't smoke every day, except usually when I'm making a video for you all, because it's kind of a treat for me. What is that other brand? But it's cut differently. It has a different cut. I guess maybe they call that a shag cut. Yeah, I think that's a shag cut. Anyway, but it is very good. The only concern that I have is like for a lot of tins, they actually screw on. This just has one of these little pull apart things. It seems to make kind of a seal. But again, it's not that much, so if I, take care of it, it should be fine. And then the other thing about the Boswells was I ordered some cigars, and maybe I didn't read carefully. I thought I was getting a pack of some really nice cigars, and maybe they are nice cigars, but when I got them, they were like little mini cigars. I thought I was getting some, full-size cigars. And I'm not saying that their advertisement was deceptive. I'm just saying that I probably made a lot of assumptions when I was ordering. So, but anyway. So I got some Christmas cookie, I got some Northwoods, and then I also got an of autumn flavors, whatever those are. I haven't opened that up yet. But the quality of the contents is excellent. Yeah, so I'm not complaining about that. So, and then over here, my Hodge Twins DD214 Alumni Cup. Yeah, got a damn good show for you. Anyway, I'm drinking one of my favorite blends of coffee, because tomorrow I'm going to start my weaning off of caffeine process. So hopefully by 2 Sundays from now, I'll be completely, off of coffee. And, because that's what I try to give up for Lent. Now, years past, I tried to do it, and the headaches were so intense that I just couldn't do it. And I had somebody goad me into quitting, and I just, it became kind of like, wait a minute, I'm going to do this. Come hell or high water, I'm going to do it. And so I actually, about 5 years ago, I just did. And it took about 10 days, and I did it cold turkey. The first 3 years, I did it cold turkey. And oh my goodness, wow, it was intense. The headaches that I would get, they would get so bad that I would have to lie down in a dark room for a couple hours. Take lots of Advil. But I got through it, and I made it through. And then, of course, I treat myself on Easter Sunday to, reintroducing my favorite drug my legal drug, I should say, caffeine. So tomorrow I'm going to start my weaning off process. And basically every day I just decrease, the amount of caffeine that I take. Now, the last 2 years, what I did, last year I started a little late. So I barely got to Ash Wednesday. I think I took 9 days before Ash Wednesday, and that's not good. I always like to do it, kind of start on that the 2 Sundays before Ash Wednesday. So by, the Sunday before Ash Wednesday, I'm pretty much winged. I'm ready to go. I'm not waking up certainly on Ash Wednesday with, horrible headache and, no, that's awful. That's terrible. So I've done it now for 5 years, and I always start, like I said, a couple weeks beforehand. So tomorrow, being February 1, Lent is Ash Wednesday starts for us Catholics on 17th of February. Now the Byzantine Catholics, they kind of start winging themselves off of things like meat and cheese and oil and wine and all that stuff 2 weeks before. They have Meat Fair Sunday and Cheese Fair Sunday, or maybe it's the other way around, Cheese Fair Sunday, Meat Fair Sunday. But they begin to wing themselves off of some of these things, to include caffeine and alcohol, before they get to Forgiveness Vespers on Sunday night, which for them kind of really is the inauguration of Lent, not Ash Wednesday. So that's one of the things that I kind of learned from those wonderful Byzantine Catholics, and so I think there's a lot of wisdom in that. So tomorrow, it'll be kind of like, okay, I take 1/10. Each day I reduce it by 1/10. And so I could probably use this cup here. I think the first year I did it was I just took a coffee cup and kind of marked it off in tenths. So one day, I wake up and I take 1/10 less each day. Now I also drink a little bit in the afternoon So what I probably will do then is also reduce that by 1/10 but a half. So whatever the morning cup is, then I take the only half of what I had in the morning and but 1/10 less than that. So that makes sense. So it's again a gradual weaning off process. So this year, because I'm starting, which I normally should start 2 weeks in advance, I shouldn't have very many problems. Now, I got to be honest, those of you who are, like me, who love your coffee, and that's great. I don't think, some people think coffee's a vice, like smoking, like, again, if something is an addiction for you, then yeah, it's a vice. For me, one of the things I have to be honest about, our roofs, the reason why I was kind of pausing here to listen, I was listening for a crash. Our roofs are just completely the snow load on the roofs is incredible, like 3-4 feet within 2 days. Okay, that's too much too soon. Okay, so but they've been shedding, and some friends were over earlier this morning, and they're like, "Whoa, look at that!" The icicles. We have icicles, and as the roof begins to shed, the snow begins to creep over the eaves, and it curls under, and so I'll try to take pictures of it if I can. It looks like the icicles look like shark teeth. I call it shark teeth. So I noticed that the snow, the blanket of snow on the roof is really low now over the eaves, to such a point where it's going to let go sometime later this evening, or probably about 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to hear this big, huge crash, because when it does go, it sounds like the world's coming to an end. And the first time it did it last year when I was here for the first year, it scared the willies out of me because I didn't know what was happening. Then I finally figured it out. So I'm just kind of listening, because, and I'll show you some pictures right now of the shark teeth and everything, yeah, and the icicles, yeah. We had a lot of snow, and it's just really beautiful, but like I said, there's always a trade-off, and sometimes, the wear and tear on buildings because the snow is so heavy, it's like, whoa. Oh yeah, somebody's probably wondering, what kind of pipe are you smoking there? And I guess this is considered a Danish freehand poker pipe, because you can sit it on it's what I call a trained pipe. Sit, stay, good pipe. Good pipe, okay? So you can do that. They're trained. But this is delightful. Not only delicious, but delightful. Yeah. The two, it's double D. Double D. Delicious and delightful. This is really good. Am I surprised? No. It's a Boswell's blend. So, but I was thinking it was going to be quote unquote more like the Tinderbox Tropical Mix, which I've been trying to find all these years, because I just really love that blend. But anyway, I digress. So getting back to the coffee winging off, we'll be doing that. So be trying to, I know that today is the last day for my monthly videos. Maybe a few of you have been kind of going, hey, wait a minute. He hasn't put a video out this month, and I don't think I have. Maybe I did. To be honest with you, I don't think I put out a video this month. So I've been feeling this little nagging pressure, like, hey, you got to put a video out. A video a month. That's all you ask. And I thought, well, today's the 31st. It's the last day I can do it. So I'm going to try to get this uploaded real soon here for y'all. Hope you're doing well. I know that most people out there are just trying to make ends meet and try to live their lives the best they can. I guess I don't know if I've kind of shared with you my personal feelings about the election and about the COVID vaccines. All those big things kind of happened this month, obviously. I think maybe I'll have to go back and check my video queue, because I know that I kept thinking I was going to make a video and share with you my thoughts and feelings about all this, but I And maybe I did, and if I did, then I'm not going to worry about it. I'll just say, well, you got an extra video this month. But something tells me that I kept thinking I was going to do it, but I never got around to doing it. So if that's the case today on the 31st, I'm just saying, yeah, it is what it is, folks. I don't know what's going to happen in the next 6 months. I don't even know where I'm going to be in the next 6 months. And that's not hyperbole. It could very well be that the powers that be, they've already in some way shut us down already. The government has pretty much said, you're non-essential, you cannot have services. Could very well be like the communists of old. They'll just basically say, we're going to repurpose these buildings. You guys are no longer a church. By the way, you're arrested. You're going to re-education camp. They'll be passing out little yellow stars and telling us we have to put them on our sleeves and tell us we have to wear these little yellow stars, or yellow crosses, I should say. So that looks like it could happen. They're already talking about it. The people on the left are talking about trying to punish anybody that supported the late president, the former president, not the late president. If you have differing opinions about things, you get in trouble, you get censored, you get banned, you even get fired from your job. All sorts of things are happening. Where in the America that I used to live in, that I was born in, you did have your civil liberties that were given to you, not by the government, but by God. And people, for the most part, even though they may not have liked the fact that you had a First Amendment and a Second Amendment, thanks be to God that at least the laws were still such on the books that those things were still being defended and protected. The government may seek to try to take those rights away from us. We will still always have them because they come from God, not the government, but the government is going to suppress them very severely. And it looks like there's precious little, most of us we won't be able to do that much about it. Try to live your life the best you can. You take one day at a time, but there's just a lot of things that I personally will just say, I'll probably get in trouble for saying this, but the two things I'll just say, I just think that the election has a lot of glaring irregularities, and it throws the questionability of the legitimacy of the current occupant of 1600 Avenue, Pennsylvania Avenue, in a lot of doubt. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And as far as the COVID-19 vaccine goes, two things. One, they're both, I think, one is that if they are indeed derived from the stem cells of aborted babies, it would be like saying, we found this new antigen and it comes from the dead corpses of Holocaust victims. But don't worry about it. It's okay. That happened 75 years ago. I think most people would have a moral objection to doing that. It's like, what? I'm not going to take that vaccine. And if that wasn't bad enough, folks, and I can say this because, even though I'm not an immunologist or an epidemiologist or whatever, I can say this with 100% clarity. We don't know what the long-range side effects will be with this vaccine. We don't know yet. Now, when I was dabbling into health and fitness a number of years ago, many of you remember I lost an awful lot of weight. Maybe I'll be able to get some of that back in this year. But I remember somebody said, and I remember it was a very well-noted doctor, and he said this, and I think it's absolutely true. All pharmaceuticals are toxins. They all have a toxic reaction to some extent in all of us. Now, maybe some of us will experience it to a greater degree or in others, but they are, pharmaceuticals are essentially toxins, okay? They're going into our body to eliminate something that we don't want there, whether it's a virus or, symptom we're trying to either treat or cure, they are going to invade your body. They are evasive. They're invasive. Okay, they're going to have some kind of a reaction. Hopefully, it's a negative reaction for the thing we want to kill. In our bodies to either stop pain or, whatever it is. But there's a toxic effect. All pharmaceuticals, the guy says, or all of them to some extent, have some toxic effects in us. And sometimes, it's like they'll tell you, here are the side effects of this drug, right? You have to read the warning labels they tell you, right? Follow the prescription, right? Don't follow the directions. Why? Because you're taking something into your body that's going to have maybe a very profound effect, and it's going to have side effects to it. So I think a lot of times people don't stop and think about that. I know that I kind of learned this the hard way with the shingles vaccine. And I, sure, the stores now kind of pass out vaccines like candy. Oh, we got this new vaccine. Would you like to try it? And I should have been a little more educated before I said yes. I just thought, oh yeah, sure, why not? I get flu vaccines every now and then, not that much because I don't think they really work. In fact, one year I got a flu vaccine and I got a really horrible case of the flu. I really got super sick. So I'm like, I think I'll pass this year. And then the other years I just never got it, and I seemed to be okay. I might have gotten still sick, but I didn't get deathly sick. So I've always been a little wary of medicines. I'm grateful for medicines that can really treat and help you when you need them. One of those is that I've kind of figured out the hard way, being an addictive personality that I am, like things like Vicodin. I remember I had my appendix taken out, and they gave me a little, I was really happy for a little couple of days, Vicodin, yeah, like this. And I've had it for a couple other issues where I had some, extreme pain. And it's interesting. It is, if you have real severe pain, those things work. But the moment your pain threshold gets kind of low, like where you could take an Advil or an aspirin or a Tylenol and it would take the edge off of it, those Vicodin, they really don't help you anymore. And I found out the hard way. And I have to say I abused it. I thought, hey, I took it for the first couple of days. I was in real pain, and man, it took the pain away, and man, I felt great. About the third or fourth day, I was feeling okay. There's just a mild pain, but I was looking forward to the drug effect, right? So I said, yeah, one was good. I'll take two. I'm going to feel great today. Fortunately, it made me sick as a dog. Because why? It wasn't treating the pain anymore. There wasn't that much pain to treat. So it was overkill, and the drug just sat there and made me nauseous and sick. So I had like half a bottle of that left, and I know some people are going to be in shock and horror when I tell them this, but I dumped the rest of it down the toilet and flushed the toilet. Because, it's like, what? If you need it, great. But if you don't need it, then don't take it. So lessons learned, right? Lessons learned, pipe pals. So anyway, man, this is really good. I really am enjoying Boswell's Paradise. I didn't even know it existed, but it's a wonderful little pipe tobacco. So, taking the vaccine, I personally will opt, if I still have a choice, to not take it for those two very important reasons. One, we do know that they have been derived from the stem cells of aborted babies. Certainly that's a big bozo no-no, folks. Right there, that's enough for me to say, I ain't taking it. But the medical side of it is we just don't know what the side effects are going to be. And apparently somebody here in our county, I live in Placer County here, and somebody took it a couple days ago and died. And then there's a report of some senator or congressman or something, and he took it. He got both shots, and he still came down with COVID. Go figure. Now, am I telling you you shouldn't take it? No. But, like I will tell you, you need to educate yourself on vaccines. I'm not an immunologist, so I can't speak with that kind of credibility or that, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh boy, I keep drawing blanks a lot. I'm doing a Joe Biden here, competency. But I can tell you from personal experience that the compounds that are used to make vaccines are carcinogenic. They use things like mercury, aluminium salts, formaldehyde, just to name a few things. Those things obviously are carcinogenic to human beings, but they have to use those to kind of, I guess the way I understand it is that's how the antigen is bound, it's a little package that gets into our bodies and our systems to supposedly, it's like a transport kind of a thing, And, but I just had a flu vaccine 3 weeks ago, and man, my lower back just went into spasms, and I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't felt this bad in 3 years. And so eventually it kind of wore, whatever it does, the vaccine compounds, they kind of dissipate into your body, but back feels fine now. But again, it reminds me of when I had the shingle shots. That was not fun. Oh man, that was not fun. Oh man, that was... Oh. So anyway, all I'm saying is buyer beware. Caveat emptor, right? So anyway, okay, so listen, I think I've gone on way too long as it is. I just wanted to just share some thoughts and feelings with you, have a pipe with you all. Hope you're doing well. And we'll get together again soon in the new month, starting tomorrow. And be looking forward to another day in the life of, or another day in May, or day in February, coming up soon. Okay, so thanks for watching. Again, light up your world, light up your pipe. We'll see you now. Take care.